Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good after midnight, whatever time you're watching this video. Welcome to another episode of Greg Blends. And in today's episode, I thought I'd take a look at animation in Blender 1.0. Now, this is something that I haven't touched at all. I think I looked at the graph editor once and didn't do anything with it. So let's see if we can figure out animation. So here I am in my IRX emulator, and let's start Blender 1.0. Now, one thing I kind of want to do is, before I start animating, play with this screen system. I did play with this a little bit before, but I don't think I've shown this to you guys. If you're familiar with the older Blenders, I mean, even as I think far as 2.79, this won't be a shock to you. But what's cool is that this feature has been here since the beginning. So I'm going to call this default. Now, if I go to this drop-down menu, there's nothing else, but I can go to add new. So we'll call this, I don't know, scene. And here I'm going to join these windows. And then I'm going to create another new one. And this one I will call animation, because we're going to be doing animation today. Aimation. It is so slow to type on this emulator. Somebody was saying like, oh, you'd get a better time in your speed run if you just typed faster. I can't. The emulator runs so slow. I can't type faster. So now that I learned how to split windows, I can use the middle mouse button here and say split. And so for this scene, we're going to want a graph editor. Oh wait, I want to do that on this one. So I think that's the graph editor. We'll leave this one as the 3D view. Whoops, I just had it there. All right. And then I think, should we have a timeline or something? Let's see. So let's split this again. So that's just going back to the graph editor. Let's see. Buttons window, file window, 3D window, graph window. So I think it's like skipping over it. Let me see if I can do it with like, okay, so yeah, so if I click and drag, I get more options than just clicking. So if I go to here, right, there's our timeline. Cool. So we have our timeline, we have our graph editor, and then we have our buttons window. And so this is in our animation view. So if I go here to scene, it takes me to this layout. And if I go to default, it takes me to the way that it was initially set up. So today we'll be using the scene kind of when we're all done. And then I'm going to play with some animation stuff today. So let's start by setting up our scene. So what I want to do is just have a ball bounce. So let's see, I'm going to go to top view. And I'm going to add a plane. And this will be our ground. And this is super confusing because I've been working in Blender 2.8, so all of my muscle memory has now reverted to 2.8. I've been doing all these Blender 1.0 videos, and I got used to working in Blender 1.0, so then when I went back to 2.8, I was right-click selecting, I was using all these shortcuts, and then now that I've spent the past like 3 days working in Blender 2.8, I'm back in 1.0, and it's really messing with my head here. So let's call this ground. And I found out if you shift control and hit backspace, it deletes the whole text box. That would be super useful if I ever do another speed run. And so we'll call this ground, and this is what our ball will bounce on. And because I have OCD, I want to make that capitalized. All right, let's go give this a material. MTL ground. One thing I like to do is prefix materials with MTL. Technically, it's redundant because this is going to be a material anyways, but I don't know, it's an old habit I picked up from some software a long time ago, and I just still do it. So let's make this like a little bit gray, 0.6. See, by clicking on this and then deleting everything, I can enter numbers much faster than I did in my speedrun video, which is pretty cool. All right, so now we have a gray for that. Let's rotate and... Oh, wait, I want to turn off... There we go, okay. And you know what? I should probably instead of making this super big, I should probably just work on a smaller scale so that I don't have that viewport clipping issue. I also realized I can use the plus and minus keys on the numpad to zoom in, which is much better than trying to do control middle mouse, because this is very laggy, whereas I can just do direct inputs with the numpad, which is nice. All right, so let's go to front view, turn off shading mode. Let's add ourselves a sphere. What kind of sphere should I add? Let's do an icosphere subdivision 3. How's that look? That actually might be... I kind of want to like optimize for performance because we're going to be animating. So let's see. Does that look good for a ball? I guess so. I'm going to rotate it so that the flat side is there. Let's scale this in. And that should be good. And let's make this a nice red ball. Something like that. Let's bring it up. I like how I can use middle mouse to lock on axis. Of course, not that time. I say I like it, but it is really unpredictable. All right, and how's our scene look? Perfect. Let's save this. I'm really starting to get a large folder of Blender 1.0 files here. So let's call this Annie Test V001. There we go. And now that we have our scene, let's switch over to animation. And I'm going to go to front view. And let's see. I'm going to zoom in, and I kind of want to do basically like 2 bounces of the ball each time getting smaller. So let's go to frame. Okay, so I have to go to animation settings. I'm on frame 1. I think, okay, so I usually like to start on frame 0. It always feels really weird to me, the fact that the green line doesn't go all the way to 0. So I always set it to be 0. I don't know if that's like a good practice or whatever, but I think it's in here somewhere. Where is it? Right, start and end. I think this is for animation. Right, so now if it's at start 6, I can't... Is that changing anything? Let's try making it something big. Okay. Not sure. Maybe this is just for rendering. Okay, well I can't go to 0 anyways. Not sure how to change the scale of the timeline. Like in modern Blender, you can kind of like, you know, choose your start and end point, and that kind of controls what's grayed out on the timeline and what you can actually edit, but we'll just work with this. So I'm going to start with the ball up here. And perfect. So I guess just location for now. It's cool that a keyframe is still the same thing. And look, we got a keyframe on our graph editor. That's cool. All right. So let's go to 50. There we go. And I guess I want to be on the animations button, and this like shows what frame we're on here. So let's go to 50. And this will be the second bounce. So I want this to be just a little bit lower. Let's do it like 1 ball width lower. All right, location. And then let's go to 100. So I guess you can't move the playhead on the graph, which I'm super used to doing in Blender 2.8. So here's 100, or any modern Blender really, I guess. And then let's move that down to about there. Now the reason why I did it like that is because now I'm going to go to the halfway points. So let's go to 25. And this will be basically on the ground. And I want to do the thing where like it squishes a little bit. So I'm going to make it go through the ground. So let's try this out. So it's Alt-A to play. That's what it always used to be. All right, so we don't have the second bounce yet because I haven't put it in there. But what I want to try to do is see, can I copy and paste keyframes? So over here, it looks like we have all the keyable things in this list, and right now we've only keyed the location ones. So I want it to go to the same, like lowest point. So how can I, let's see, so can I copy and then go to 75 and paste? I don't think that did anything. How do I select? So this is like selecting the entire curve. And I guess really we only care about Z. Okay, so you can like select, can I shift select? Okay, so you can select your different curves here. Right, so what I want to do is copy, oh, maybe, aha, so you select a curve and then you hit tab to go into edit mode. That's really interesting. I actually like that. In Modern Blender in the graph editor, everything is just always editable. But this is actually kind of cool that you can like, it's the same shortcut tab. So now can we, all right, so select nothing. I guess that's nothing. So let's select this one. Can I copy this to 75? Whoa, I'm grabbing it. Paste. Okay, so that's doing some weird stuff. So copy and paste are not doing what I'm expecting them to do. What if I shift D? Aha, I can do that. Can I, then there we go. So 75 should be like right here, I guess. So if I hit home, okay, that's cool. I can zoom in with home like Modern Blender. All right, so let's try this animation. What did I break? Hello, animate. Oh, I guess I had to reselect it. All right, so it goes down, then it goes up to a little bit lower. Okay, perfect. So we copied that keyframe. It goes to the same spot because we copied the keyframe, and then it goes even lower. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay, you know, I love this. This is Blender. You know, I mean, I'm trying to figure out how everything works, but it's like already we got an animation starting to form. So I guess the next thing is the curve should look like this, right? So for a bouncing ball, perfect, it's G, it should kind of like do this shape, right? You're gonna have to trust me on that, but right, so it should like accelerate down and then stop on the ground very quickly and then bounce back up, go a little bit lower, and then we got to change this one. I keep using left click select. I'm too used to Blender 2.8. And then it should look like that. Let's see how that looks. Oh, here's an interesting. Okay, so I can scrub through here. It doesn't update live. I have to let go. But does this work? Shift left. Nice. So I can. Okay, there's the end. There's the front. Okay, cool. So I can just rewind with shift left. I think that's still the same. Is it Alt Shift Left or just Shift Left in Modern Blender? I forget now, but let's play this. All right, so oh, it's doing that thing where I have to select it again, or maybe I just have to focus the 3D viewport. I'm not sure. Boing. Oh, that is perfect, and that slows down, and then speeds up, and then bounces. Oh, I love it. Okay, this is actually going really fast. Never mind, we're already at 15 minutes. I felt like I just started this project. What did I talk about for 15 minutes? Okay, so now I want to do the squishing thing, right? So let's see, what frame does it get like right above the ground? So 20. So it's probably going to start here. I want to say size. Put a size keyframe in there. And then when it gets to the bottom, which we know is 25, I want to size and then use middle mouse button to try to get it Come on, pick the correct axis. Okay, why is it... Oh, do I have to apply? Okay. Is this going to break everything now? Let's see. So, scale. Okay, so that looks like it's working a little bit better. But I still can't get the one that I want. There we go. Okay. So, squish, size. Is this going to break the frame I had previously? Oh, we just lost everything. Okay, that's not good. Okay, so let's turn... let's look at just the size ones. So what's happening here? I want it to be... Oh, right, I have to... Okay, I think what I want to do is... Can I edit all of these curves? I think I'm going to be missing a curve or something. Deselect everything, box select just this one. Yep, I'm missing a curve. So this should just be at 1. Okay, there we go, we fixed that. Now I just have to get this one also. To be at 1, I think. Why is it still at the bottom? Can I just delete this keyframe? Okay. Okay. Okay, so now it's squished, but the problem is... Oh, I see what that keyframe was. So we want to go... Let's exit out of edit mode for these. And then now I just want size Z. And then, so we said at 25, it should be fully compressed, but at like 2 frames before that, it should be... Do we have a keyframe for this? Why is it... Oh, okay, it's working. Let's play this. Okay, perfect. Squishes, but then it get... Okay, because I just didn't put another keyframe yet. All right, so then let's go to like here. And then now its scale should be back to... Well, actually, can I just do this again? Edit, select this one, Shift D. Oh no, I don't want the handle. There we go. Okay, cool. If I can just duplicate, then I'll be able to copy that little curve there. Perfect. And then it doesn't do it that time. You know what I should probably also do? Well, let's just try... Okay, so this is at 25. I'm looking at the timeline as if this curve is on this timeline. So if this is at 25, the next one should be at, yes, like 75 or something, right? Yeah, okay. We want to just... Can I box select? I can. Okay, good. Shift D. Lock on axis. And then do... like that. Beautiful. Okay. Ooh, here's an idea. What if I do like this? So it'll get, there we go. Something like this. How does this look? Okay, I kind of like that. I think it's a little bit hard to see. You probably didn't catch that. Let me see if I can make this a little bit more exaggerated. So what it's going to do is it's going to stretch vertically afterwards. See, it's a little bit taller than it is wide, and then it returns to a circle when it's at the top. Okay, I like that. Let's recreate that on the other side as well. So I want to select this one. Why is it not... I probably need another keyframe. Let's go to, like, I guess 100. And this is what scale? Let's put another size keyframe. Then select this. There we go. Okay. And then we want to look like that. And then the other thing I was thinking is when the ball squishes, it should actually expand out a little bit. Like it should go more wide because that volume stays the same. This is just like, you know, animation stuff, right? Like the volume should stay consistent. So if it squishes, it needs to get wider to maintain the same level of squishiness. So I guess we already have all three of these axes keyed. So if I take these two, but then I go to 25, let's just do it here. I want to scale like this, so it's a little bit stretched out that way, and do that. Hopefully that didn't mess up all my curves. Let's see how that looks. Oh, no, I don't like that. Well, I could probably fix that. I just want... right. So this one... oh, this one just doesn't have an extra key, is why. How do I add a key? I guess I can just... what is this, like... 25, 26, 27, I guess 28 maybe? No, that's way too high. I guess let's try this. Insert a size. Oh, yeah. How does this look? Ah, stop. That's what I wanted. Okay. So now I can just take, let's see, so deselect everything, box select this, Shift D, and I want the peak of this to be on keyframe 75, or just frame 75, I mean, like that. And I probably don't want this curve going down here, so let's just, I guess, select this one. Okay, let's see how this animation looks. All right, so there's one last thing I want to do is make it move left to right. So let's go to the first frame. I don't think I have any keyframes. Well, I think I have it. Yeah, I have a location keyframe on this one. So let's Let's turn on our location things. Okay, so this is the Z, the yellow line, is the vertical bounce location, but now I want to make it go left to right. So let's see if we can do this without breaking everything. I'm going to grab this. Oh, you know what? I'm doing good here. I should probably save. There we go. Okay. So let's move this over to here. We'll make it go between these two lines. So right there, let's put a location in there. Okay, good. That didn't break my yellow curve. That makes me happy. And then let's go to frame 100. And then grab and put it right here. And put a location. I feel like this is not going to work. Let's see. Oh, no, that's working. Wait. No, it's not. Okay, so I think that this shouldn't be too hard, right? I just want to do it on X. I think, okay, let's see, let's hit home. I think I can just delete the middle keyframes. So let's select this curve, edit mode, box select, delete these. Wait. Oh no, can I undo? Crap. Okay, I think I accidentally deleted my keyframe on frame 100. So let's go over here. Put a location keyframe. Okay, so now the X looks a lot better. That might have fixed everything. Can I see all my curves? Hey, look at that. There is all my curves. Let's try playing this. Oh no! What happened there? So that would be location Z. Right, yeah, this is the bounce for going back up. This, I guess when I added that last keyframe, this got really, really weird. So I don't want it to go, it should, oh, this should be flat, essentially. Like that. That's how that curve should look. Oh, let's try playing it with shading on. How about that? Control, I'm going to save a version because I may have broken it just now, but let's see how this looks. So far so good. I like that squash and stretch. All right, moment of truth. Is it going to spaz out? Oh, no, it worked perfectly. Look at that. Now we can't render, unfortunately, but that is awesome. Let me, can I reset here? I have to stop animation. I wish it ran at a faster frame rate. You know what I might do is just, in the edit that you're watching, I might just actually play this screen cap footage a little bit faster so this looks a little bit smoother, and play this animation a few times at, like, I guess if I speed it up 3 times, that should be pretty close to realistic speed, because I think MAME says this emulator runs at like 30% speed. So if I triple the speed on this clip that you're watching right now, that I'm talking about, I guess it would be running at normal speed, and it should be looking pretty cool. Look at how awesome that is. I made a bouncing ball in Blender 1.0, and it was actually surprisingly easy. I can't believe it. I mean, I'm continuously shocked at how awesome Blender 1.0 is. I've been seeing a lot of comments about people saying like, oh God, the interface was so horrible, or, you know, thank God for Blender 2.8. Yes, Blender 2.8 is amazing, but I thought Blender 2.79 and the 2.5 Plus series was still pretty good. But even this, I mean, if you know what you're doing, this interface isn't really that bad. It's working. It's a little clunky, but again, this is like 25-year-old software, so I'm just playing this animation on loop. Let's get a different camera angle because this is just too cool. Let's try it from something like this. And maybe, oh, see, now what I should do is go into this so that I can like zoom in a lot, turn on this. Let's watch it here. Move my mouse out of the way. Boing. That is so cool. Like the bottom UI is just completely spazzing out every time it has to draw a frame. Oh man, I'm so happy that came out. Somebody said that they want to see if I can work with armatures. That will definitely be a different video if I decide to do that. I don't know if this has armatures or whatever, but if it does, I'll have to figure it out. That would be fun to like try to rig a character. Actually, that wouldn't be fun. I hate rigging, but I would do it for you guys. But look at that. We have a bouncing ball. So, I mean, that's a success. We're already at 35 minutes. At least my recording is 35 minutes. I may have edited it down a bit by the time you're watching it, but that is so cool. We got a bouncing ball in Blender 1.0. But yeah, so like a lot of comments have been saying like, oh, this interface is so horrible. It's surprisingly good. Like, look at this. Like, I was able to, you know, make a window, like arrangement for animation. There's a timeline. There's the graph editor. It works pretty much as you'd expect. I mean, I was able to use my animation skills to understand how to read the graph editor and kind of like play with the curves so that I could get the ball to do what I wanted. But that was pretty decent. I enjoyed this exercise. So now it's time for social media. Of course, on YouTube, you guys have been killing it with the comments. There's a ton of great comments. Thank you for all of the comments. Keep them coming in. If you have anything to say, type it right now, and maybe your comment will be featured in a future video. And then going over to Twitter, so this guy, App for Soft, said, awesome, just watched opening and rendering Blender 1.0 and 2.8 and 2.9. Think it would be cool to highlight Blender 2.4 too. And so he shouted me out, stuff I build, and he says that he's building a Blender 2.8x theme for Blender less than or equal to 2.49. So I guess on these older versions of Blender, you could easily change out the icons, like with that Blender buttons file that we worked on in a previous video. So he's making a 2.8 theme for ancient Blenders. I can't wait for him to finish. So I said, when can I get this? And he says, hopefully this weekend. So I will do a video on this as soon as it's out because I would love to see old Blender with modern UI. That will just be completely weird to look at. So hopefully that comes out soon. But and then this guy, Brian, I guess it's Bijou, said, I just got one of my actual IRIX systems up and running, SGI02, and I figured out how to access it over VNC. If you'd like to try Blender 1.0 on real hardware remotely. So yeah, that sounds awesome. Sorry, you know, I kind of slept on this message. I saw this message a few days ago and I just kind of forgot about it. So I'll reply to you as soon as I'm done recording this video. But yeah, that sounds awesome because I think maybe if we have an actual machine, we might be able to render. And everybody's asking, can you render in 1.0? And right now on the emulator, you can't. So I will definitely be in touch. Thanks for reaching out. And then the final thing is, on the Blender Donut subreddit, somebody said, someone named Nightcomer says the iconic scene made in Blender 1.0 from 1994. So someone reposted my donut scene from Blender 1.0, but luckily Nightcomer's a good guy. He says, here's the original video by Greg Blends, and he linked my video. So that was really fun and surprising to see that somebody actually linked my work. That was really cool. I said, thanks for crediting me. Someone says, love your content. I said, what would you like to see more of? They're saying more old versions of Blender, maybe each big release. And again, I'm always looking for ideas. The Blender 1.0 stuff seems to be really popular. I did the Lego video update previously, and in the meantime, I've actually started 2 Blender 2.8 videos. I didn't finish either of them because they both ended up taking a lot longer to record and produce than I was expecting. So today I decided to do the animation thing. So we're back in 1.0 again today. But I do have a 2.8 video coming out soon. There will be some more 2.8 stuff that's just nothing to do with old Blender. However, I do want to do more stuff with old Blender. So whatever ideas you have, leave them in the comments below. One other thing. Somebody on Reddit reached out to me to do some freelance work, and I said sure. He had a job that sounded really interesting, and I was like, yeah, I could do that for you. Right now, in these times of Corona, all that nonsense going on in the world, I need work. So if anybody needs freelance stuff, please reach out to me. I would love to help you. Whatever change you can throw my way. If it's a simple project, I might be able to help you for, below market rate. If it's a bigger, more involved project, like, making a full-length motion picture, I might charge a little bit more. But yeah, so that's one thing I want to announce, is that I'm accepting freelance work. So if you need any work, or you know anybody who needs any work, send them my way. You can see my website. gmiller.net is my personal website. And in the 3D modeling category, you can see an example of my portfolio. The only animation I have is this cat animation. I don't really freelance for animation, but I did do a cat once. But these are like some of the images that I did professionally before. So if you want to see a portfolio, it's just gmiller.net. But anyways, yeah, remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube nonsense, and ta-ta for now.